Hey guys, it is Keaney here again, and I'm back for my second set of predictions for WrestleMania. We are going to night two, the Sunday, which is potentially the bigger night of the two, as it's closing out WrestleMania. So as always, check out if you haven't seen already my night one predictions, go back, watch those. Obviously, check out Fisher and Krusty's; they'll be predicting as well. So there'll be videos coming at you left, right, and center. There'll be stand and deliver predictions as well. And of course, get involved yourself on Twitter. Just keep an eye out on the Recharge Wrestling Twitter page at Recharge Wrestle, and there will be predictions coming your way, so you can get involved yourself with a chance to win a T-shirt of your choosing from one of the two wrestling companies. So night two, we kick off with the women's tag team title match. It's Lita and Carmella who go in as champs against Sasha, Naomi, Rhea, Liv, and Natalya, Shayna. And I think for me, this one really should be Sasha and Naomi to win. So that's going to be my prediction. I just can't see the champs retaining. I just don't think the other two teams are established enough yet. I mean, Sasha and Naomi are hardly established themselves, so it's not exactly like it's it's not exactly like they're a like legendary tag team. I don't know if teams together before, but they were thrown together kind of at a whim, just a way to get Sasha on the card. And I think this is how the reason why they did it was so they could win this match. I think the other teams are in this match just to get some extra women on the card. I think that's the only reason the other teams are in this match. So yeah, Sasha and Naomi for me. The next match is an anything goes match between Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn. And I think this one could be really interesting. There was a promo Sami Zayn cut on last week's SmackDown. This has been recorded before the SmackDown before WrestleMania SmackDown, as it's called, of course. Where Sami Zayn said Knoxville will receive punishment that's the likes of never been seen before in a WWE ring, which is an interesting choice of words, I think. So I think we're going to see something quite spectacular in this match. I think we're going to see a lot of big bumps. So this isn't actually an easy one to call. I think there is a chance Johnny Knoxville could win this. And there is a chance Sami Zayn could, but I think I'm going to go for Johnny Knoxville. I think that's what I'm going to go for here, but I think there is a chance Sami Zayn wins this as well. But I think Knoxville is going to take some massive bumps. Actually, hang on. Let me just check myself. Let's just hold horses. Okay, no, I'm going to go Sami Zayn. I'm going Sami Zayn to beat Johnny Knoxville because I think the ending of this match, Knoxville is going to take a ridiculous bump, and that's how Sami Zayn's going to win. So I think Sami Zayn is going to win this match. Yeah, I definitely do. God, very torn there. I'm moving on now. Pat McAfee, Austin Theory, again, the second celebrity involvement, but Pat McAfee is not a celebrity. He's wrestled in ring. We know how good he is. So I think this match will be very, very good. But Austin Theory is getting a bit of rub at the moment. He was involved with Balor and Priest in the build-up to Spain. He's been in that US title picture. He just beat Ricochet clean on Raw. So he is definitely seen as that top mid-tier level. And for that reason, I don't think they'll have Pat McAfee beat Austin Theory here. So I'm going to go for Austin Theory to win. It'll probably be backhanded. I think there'll be some great spots for McAfee, but I think in the end, Theory will beat McAfee. Yeah, so I'm going Theory. The Raw tag team titles is an interesting one. RK Bro, the Street Profits, the Alpha Academy. And I think, unfortunately, I actually think the least likely winners of this are the Alpha Academy, because if not, they've probably been the least featured out of the three in the kind of immediate build-up to this match for Mania. The Street Profits are turning heel. That we do know. They are coming across more aggressive. They attacked RK Bro from behind after the match. Interesting, Alpha Academy weren't on Raw, by the way, so I don't know if that means anything, because they were scheduled to have a match against the Street Profits on Raw, which never happened, and then they never showed up at the end. So I don't know whether there's injury or COVID reasons why it didn't happen, but you know, I don't know if that puts any doubt on this match at all. At this point, I have no idea. Time of recording, I don't know. But I'm going to go for RK Bro to retain, just because they've only recently won them. And I think it would be a real shame if they lost it this quickly. And I don't think they're moving to the Autumn Riddle breakup, which would be a good reason to have them lose the belts. I think they might save them losing it now for that reason. So yeah, I'm going RK Bro to retain here. Edge and AJ Styles now is a tough one. It's a real tough one. Because sometimes if Edge has a big Mania match, you think, oh, he might be trying to put over the younger guy here. But AJ is a veteran himself, so AJ doesn't need putting over here. I'm just trying to think, who would they be more likely to propel to the main event scene, which I think will be where the winner of this match goes, because these are just on the precipice of that main event scene, these two. And I think purely for the reason we've seen Edge in the main event scene a lot recently, and we haven't seen much of AJ because he's been in his tag team with Omos. So I think I'm going to go AJ Styles to beat Edge. But my prediction is this will be the match of the weekend. Brock v. Roman could well be that, because they might just go mad with that one. But I think this match is going to be insane. In-ring work, I think it's just going to be incredible. So I think AJ Styles will beat Edge. But yeah, it's such a tough one. So many of these matches I'm torn, but yeah, I'm going AJ, definitely. Lashley v. Omos is the next match, which was announced on Raw, and we saw Lashley return very quickly after his injury at Elimination Chamber, or before the pay-per-view, but at Chamber, according to WWE programming. And I just don't see how Lashley doesn't beat Omos here. Omos is built to be this big, no one could even knock him down. Lashley knocked him down. It's actually quite interesting seeing them two face off, because Lashley did look a lot smaller than Omos, which I can't believe. But for me, this one has to be Bobby Lashley. If Bobby Lashley doesn't beat Omos here, I will be pretty angry. It could be a skid mark for me, a WrestleMania worthy skid mark, but Bobby Lashley has to win. And he is definitely a face, Lashley. God, his reaction he got when he came out was pretty big, pretty impressive reaction. And all that's left now is the biggest match of all time, the biggest WrestleMania match to ever happen, until next year when they do something even bigger, I'm sure. But we have Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, a title unification bout between the two stars of WWE and potentially wrestling, full stop. Brock and Roman. It almost couldn't be bigger, this one. And it's such a tough one, because there's so many questions on what happens after Mania, in terms of, do the titles stay unified? Do one of them, are they fighting on both brands? Do one of them just give up the second belt, or is there just one champion now? So there's a lot of questions after this. And I think that has to take some consideration when I'm thinking about the winner. And I'm thinking, who's most likely to pull double duty if we get to that point? Who's most likely to drop a belt because it's a bit beneath him? And I think the answer has to be Roman Reigns. I just can't see Brock being a unified champion, because he's not around enough to do that job. And I just think it's bad enough when he's champion on one of the brands. Like Raw hasn't had a champion for since he won it at Elimination Chamber. They Raw haven't had a champion on the show, basically, apart from this week's Raw. And I know Lesnar would probably appear more if he won both belts, or won the unified belt, whichever way they go with it. But I just think it's too much to just take your belt and give it to a part-time guy. You're going to unify a belt and put it on a part-time guy. I just think is a mad decision. Unless Brock's sticking around, and maybe he is, because he seems more into what he's doing than he ever has done before. So I think there is potential, but I'm going to go for Roman Reigns to win the unification match, the biggest WrestleMania match of all time. Roman Reigns, he's going to smash him, he's going to stack him up, and he's going to move on. And I think he pulls, my prediction after, which doesn't really come into this, but I predict he's going to start pulling double duty, and he's going to appear on Raw and SmackDown because they need it. And I know there's the networks are going to, there's going to be some sort of politics there, but I just think I just think, you know, maybe he needs to start putting double duty, and I think he'd be the perfect person to fight on both brands. I'd love to see him in two feuds at once. It could be really interesting. That's the way I would go about it. I don't know what they're going to do, but yeah, so much intrigue after Mania. After Mania, there's so much intrigue about what happens. So just quickly run down my predictions again. Sasha Banks and Naomi to win the women's tag team titles. Sami Zayn to beat Johnny Knoxville. Austin Theory to beat Pat McAfee. I'm going to go for the RK Bro to retain the Raw tag team titles. AJ Styles to beat Edge. Bobby Lashley to beat Omos. And Roman Reigns to unify the WWE and Universal titles as the main event of the biggest WrestleMania match of all time. So there you have it. If you haven't, you know, as I mentioned at the top of the show, top of the video, if you haven't seen my night one predictions, go back, watch those, and do stay tuned, because there will be some standard and delivered predictions coming your way, as well as Fisher and Krusty's, which definitely check those out as well. Although they won't be as good as mine, because I am currently in the lead for predictions. Obviously, I can't win the t-shirt, but I can win a lot of pride if I beat those guys, and that's the most important thing to me. So yeah, get involved yourself on Twitter as well, and we will speak to you after WrestleMania with our WrestleMania review shows, which could be very interesting indeed. Speak to you later, guys.